Hi guys, how's it going? It is me, Jack here, and welcome to episode number 13 of the Football Manager 2023 save here with Birmingham City. In today's episode, we are going to do another double header for you, and we are going to be playing Sunderland in the 5th round of the FA Cup and Brentford at home as well. I started the episode looking at the development centre, and it's not exactly the youth I want to just pay attention with. First of all, it's because I want to take a look at Scott Hogan, who unfortunately sees himself in here as he's got a damaged cruciate ligament. I can't remember now the game that he suffered this in. Actually, yeah, it appears that it was in a under 21 match that he unfortunately picked up this injury, and he was a man that I had on off the bench, but he's picked up this injury and we won't be renewing his contract from next season. So the man that was so unbelievable for us last season, 34 goals in 44 appearances for us, never scored in the Premier League, and unfortunately has played his last game for the club. The only positive, I suppose, is the fact that it is £38,500 coming in on the wage budget. And as well as that, we've got another player, Sam Cosgrove, who you may remember I spoke about quite a few episodes ago. Another player that's contract finally expires this year, and it means £35,000 will be off the wage bill. As well as that, the youth academy, we haven't had the players through yet, but we've got two players that are of A quality coming into the side, as well as a C goalkeeper. So I'll keep you up to date in the next few episodes with that. As well as that, there's no one really in either the under 21s or under 18s that is developing astronomically. I have called up one player though, and it was Keller, I believe it was. Yeah, Brandon Keller, someone who we've just decided to give a little bit of game time to on off the bench in a few games, and hasn't really done anything, but could be someone to develop through in the midfield, which is excellent to see. Can also play up front and as a defensive mid. Wouldn't play him defensively, I don't think, as much, but a striker definitely could be a player that we could try up there. But as you can see from the last few games, we are currently 19th in the Premier League, 3 points off survival. It's been quite a mixed bag, really, after the games that we played in the last episode, Norwich and Leicester City. We played York City, and the biggest victory that I think I've ever had in Football Manager this year, a 10-1 victory against York City. Everything we touched turned to goals. Gellert got 5, Shelderup, Chong, Romero and Sunya got a goal, but it didn't stop us from keeping a clean sheet, unfortunately. Thomas got a penalty for them and scored it in the 76th minute to give them a consolation goal. But a massive victory in the FA Cup, which gave us a massive bit of confidence as we played Chelsea at home next in the league, and we were able to get a 2-0 victory at St Andrews. Quite a few yellow cards for us, but goals by Onyeka and Chong meant that we were just able to comfortably win this one. Chelsea proved no threat whatsoever. Played quite a negative side, I must say, with the 5 at the back, but we were able to mastermind a great 2-0 victory, and that sent us very confidently into our next few games, where we lost the next 3. Liverpool was quite a close game, you can see, only 3 goals to 2. The stats show that we weren't absolutely battered in this game. Salah opened the scoring with an unfortunate penalty that we gave away, but Shelderup got another goal from the striking position, equalising for us. Salah missed a penalty, and then just on the brink of half-time, Luis Diaz scored, giving them the 2-1 lead, and then a further 3-1 lead. But then we brought Joe Gellert on off the bench, and he got a goal with an assist from our left-back Maxime Collin. Even with an assist, he still played appallingly there, and we unfortunately didn't get anything from that game. Similar fashion with Manchester United, we just out-battled, really. The first half we went 0-0, and I thought we could maybe snatch a point, but unfortunately Martinez and Rashford got 2 goals that meant the game finished 2-0 to them. And arguably the biggest game of the season, Norwich away, and at this point I think they were sat 19th or 18th. We just didn't turn up whatsoever. No goals, hardly any effort on target. And I looked at their team at the start and I thought, this is a winnable game. This is not really much quality here in this team. Players like Baumgartlinger, who are 36 years of age, playing in the Premier League and scoring against us. We ought to be ashamed of ourselves after a performance like this. And I thought, this was the first game afterwards, I thought, maybe we just aren't going to stay up this year, until I decided to drastically change things up for this game against Bournemouth. I thought, you know what, let's go to a 5 at the back, but a bit of an inverted system. We played Fabra as his really attacking left wing back, and we kept Byron back, who just came back from an injury. And we were really fortunate that Hill got a yellow card early on, and then got sent a double yellow card, a sending off because of a handball incident. And 2 goals right at the brink of both halves. Shelderup managed to get 2, meaning that we won this game. Our first victory away from home all season. And then that made me think, well, do you know what? Maybe we have got some fight in us after all, getting that first win of the season. But in the Premier League, it didn't continue. In the FA Cup, it did. We got a 3-0 victory against Rotherham, which is why I thought I'll show you our first game, our 5th round game, our first game on camera, though, in the FA Cup against Sunderland. But we beat Rotherham 3-0. Again, I thought, let's play a strong lineup here, a fairly strong lineup with a lot of key players into the team. Almada got 2 goals, and Gelhardt again coming on off the bench to get a goal. So that was a nice positive 3-0 performance. And then West Ham, another huge game. They were sat in and around 17th, 16th before this game. And it took them till the 69th minute before Pablo Fornals opened the scoring. And right at the death, Jared Bowen missed a decisive penalty that gave them just a 1-0 victory. But it was another flat performance where we just were unable to create anything. And we have far too many of these games where the forward players don't create enough. And it finished 1-0. And then Palace away, just another unfortunate game, a 2-0 defeat. Here against a side that are in the top half. We went back to the 5 at the back for these away games. I thought, let's stick with it for this game. And Odsonne Edouard got one just before half time. You got another one, and it sealed 3 points for them. So, as I said, 3 points from the relegation zone. We've got a game in hand on Norwich. I don't think Watford are going to be too much of a concern. It's just whether we can accumulate enough points to get out of this drop zone. But it's as if the league table is almost like flipped, because you expect teams like Palace, Villa, Brentford, Wolves, Southampton to be where we are, trying to fight to survive, and teams such as Everton, West Ham, Leicester and Newcastle to be in and around the European positions. So it's really difficult to try and amass enough points to beat these teams, because a lot of these teams are starting to get points. Newcastle sacked their manager. They're still looking to try and get someone in. But then you've got Leicester, West Ham, who sold Declan Rice in the January window, replaced him with Freuler, Bentancur and Alvarez. Some brilliant players there. £44 million on a really quality striker who's bound to get goals eventually for West Ham. And they're only in 16th. And Everton, Everton are a side that never get relegated, haven't been relegated for some time, finished 16th last year, but you don't expect them to go down with the quality that they've got in their team. You only have to sort it by transfer value to see that they've got Calvert-Lewin, Patterson, Branthwaite, Mikalenko. It's a real quality side, but unfortunately we're in this division, and unfortunately these are the sides that we've got to try and face up against. We expected it, but it's what's happening at the minute, and hopefully we can try and just push ourselves out of this and get one of these big sides to drop into the relegation zone at some point. I wanted to show one last thing before we go into the game, and that was the XG table, because it actually makes for surprisingly pretty reading. If the league was created through just an XG table, where we would be expected to be 11th place right now. So that gives me a little bit of hope going into this, that we haven't been battered this year. We have held our own, but unfortunately the points that we've amassed just haven't been enough. And I think it's going to be quite a high scoring point total that will try and keep you in the division. But I think if you get 40, then I think you will be able to survive. We've got some big games coming up, and you're going to see this double header right now. Sunderland in the FA Cup, that we're going to have to play at quite a rotated side, because we've got a home game against Brentford where we need to try and amass 3 points. So this will be the side that we play against Sunderland as we look to progress to the quarter-finals of the competition. Ruddy will go in goal. Byron, Howard Bellis, Roberts and Lungello, who's came back from a massive injury. He got it in training, but he had a big one towards the back end of last year as well. So he hasn't played much this season. And when he has, he's done okay. So I'm going to give him a little bit of time in against Sunderland in the FA Cup 5th round. Sunyik's going to go at the base of the midfield. Bakuna and Bellingham completing that midfield with Romero, Shelder up out wide and Gelhardt up front. Fabra, Ahmedzovic, Cabal, Gardner, Onyeka, James, Chong, Keller and Almada on the bench. Etheridge and Colin, who's currently injured, miss out. I don't think this episode will go back to the 5 at the back system. That was mainly for away game, but depending on what I feel like going into that Brentford game, we may change things up a little bit tactically. I don't think there's anything else really there to show you apart from potentially the transfers out. We loaned out Jordan Hugill to Rotherham, who's probably someone that's going to just end up leaving anyways. But apart from that, I don't think there was anything else to show you. We weren't really interested in anyone. John Ruddy, unfortunately, has been poached by LA Galaxy, so he won't be staying around next season. It was a shame because I wanted to offer him a contract, but for some reason he didn't want to stay, and LA Galaxy came calling. So, but he's been brilliant, really good in the Premier League. Got a few clean sheets, done what I've expected of him, but we're definitely going to need a few goalkeepers next season in the league. So, without further ado, let's just go straight into this game. A win would progress us to the quarter-final, which might be a little distraction, but it just gives us that confidence of winning, and it's something that we need right now. But on YouTube especially, I don't think we've lost yet in the Premier League, so it would be beautiful if we can get another 2 victories in this episode today. Just hopeful performance in this game like we are in every single match. There's our side. Big side that we're playing. In parts, some players will be playing on the game against on Tuesday, some won't. Quite a negative side here from Sunderland that sit mid-table in the Championship. 5 at the back system from them. But let's hope that we can beat Sunderland in this game. We're going to start only 3 minutes in with a set piece from Shelder up. Ball into the area. Sunyik clears it away. Luca back to Shelder up. He's in an onside position rather. Romero curling effort just goes wide of the post. And as I'm doing this at the minute, progressing this save off camera, we've got a lot of players who have got these relegation release clauses who aren't wanting to discuss terms because they know that if they go down, they'll be poached on these deals. So if we're relegated, then this side is going to look a lot different heading into next season. But if we stay in the division, then it's going to look hopefully a lot better into next season. But we'll have to just see how it goes, and hopefully we can amass more points and we can keep ourselves in the league. Luca Romero's taken a knock here in this game. Almada, it's what it's recommending me to bring on. Luca's playing on the wide right position. I'll tell you what, let's go Chong, and we'll keep Chong as an inside forward on that side. Surprising that it's taken 40 minutes for anything really to happen here, because we haven't had any chances in this game, so I don't want to slate them, but I just want to try and say keep working hard. We'll get something out of this if we all step up to the table. I'm just going to go to the opposition instructions, and I just want us to try and go in hard and show the weaker foot to Ken Kelsler-Hayden, who's looking really tired, only 45 minutes in. I don't think he's picked up an injury, but he's just really tired on that right hand side, and as a result of that, let's play just that little bit wider and try and play through them, as we're starting now to create some chances. They're not having many, but we're having plenty of shots, not many of them on target. Gelhardt's only on a 6.5. We don't want this game, do not want this game to go to a second leg, because it's important that we try and get this game done within 90 minutes. Gelhardt straight through, and I was just thinking about maybe taking him off, and I thought he'd score there to not make that happen. Just realised Longello, there we go, onto the red heart. He's played a good 70 minutes there, 6.9 rating. We'll take him off to reduce the prospect of him getting injured again, and I'm going to put Shelder up front, because you think with a 7.4 rating he'll be due to get onto the score sheet. Almada can then go out wide. We'll keep Byram on even though he's not having the best game. Come on, Byram. Demand more. They're absolutely knackered. Absolutely tired. So let's just really... We won't play at an even higher tempo, but we'll press. We'll stop crosses in this as well. Here we go. Right, 12 minutes. Let's take off Bellingham. And as well as that, we'll bring on Jordan James. And I'm going to take off Bakuna for Onyeka. That's 5 substitutions made with only 10 minutes to go. This has been poor from Birmingham City. 1 goal is all it would take for us to win this game. Onyeka to Byram. Through to Chong. Chong slotted to Almada, who just manages to ricochet the ball into the area. I don't think VAR is going to rule it out. It doesn't look that way. It's his 10th of the season. And what a goal that could be for us as we look to get into this quarter-final, look to get another victory on the board. Very slow build-up this. Chong finds it through to Almada. Poor defending from the Sunderland men. And it's taken us 84 minutes on the clock. But we've managed to find a breakthrough in this game. Is that the final whistle? It is the final whistle. It's a 1-0 victory. It's a big one. We have to take it. Nice work, everyone. It was good. I mean, deep down it's not. But I'm just trying to find any way I can to boost morale. Because it's very important when you're trying to fight in a relegation battle. You've got Leicester, Arsenal, Birmingham, Blackburn, Norwich, Man City and Man United into the next round. Bournemouth have beaten Everton as well, which is good for us in this race for survival. And this game against Brentford is going to be quite big for us now because, you know, you've got Everton there that have played a game extra than us. Norwich have played a game extra. So let's get straight into that game now at home against Brentford, where the aim has to be 3 points. Before we go into the game against Brentford, I thought, you know what? Let's have a look at the FA Cup quarter-final draw. Totally forgot that this was going to happen before the game. It's a feature that we haven't actually used very often in this game, so let's do it. Why not? Norwich is the first team that came out the hat from the ceremony host, Dennis Bergkamp. Let's see who they're going to get. Norwich versus Manchester City. 6 teams left. Who could we get here? Leicester City. I suppose we take Leicester City rather than that of United, Arsenal or Spurs. Leicester get Birmingham. It is. It's going to be Neil Lennon versus us. Man United get Spurs. Blackburn get Manchester City. Blackburn get Arsenal. Norwich get Manchester City. So Leicester away is a big game in terms of the Premier League status, but it's going to be in a few games' time for us. So we'll continue on to this game then against Brentford. Okay, the lineup on your screen then for Birmingham City. John Ruddy, Sam Byram, Anel, Howard Bellis and Angelo in defence. Sunyik, Onyeka and Bakuna in the midfield. I thought we'll switch this up as it didn't really work with Bellingham in midfield. So rather than go with Chong, let's try and have a bit of physique in there. Romero, Almada and then Shelder up front. Fabra, Roberts, Cabal, Gardner, Chong, James Bellingham, Keller and Gelhardt. You might be thinking why Gelhardt hasn't been getting much game time up front for us, and he had a really good start to the season. Good little period here when we had Man City, scored Brentford, then got a few obviously against York, Leicester, Norwich and Liverpool. But as of late, from Man United onwards, 1 goal in 7 games. He hasn't been scoring, he hasn't been finding that goal scoring flair that he's had. So let's just have a little word with him before this game because he might come on off the bench if we are lacking in goals in this game. But let's hope not. Let's hope that we can just get a nice comfortable 2-0, 3-0 victory. There'll be a morale boosting win. A win could take us clear the relegation zone. What a morale boost that would be. Let's go and get the result that we want. That's the type of team talk we need, and hopefully can motivate the players as we try and get a result. Here we go. Shelder up. Very impressive. There's no story here. Okay, so our lineup on your screen. 3 wins from 5 in terms of recent form, which makes for positive reading. We just haven't had many in the league. 6 all year. In fact, Tony, Damsgaard and Buemo is a scary attack line for them. De Silva in there. David Raya. Very strong. And as I say, Brentford are having a good season. But victory for us, if we were to get it in this game, wouldn't take us out the relegation zone. We'd be level on point with Everton. But let's hope we can get something out of this. And the highlight's going to start with us in possession of the ball. Anel to Byram. Byram finding Anel. Defensively next season is going to be just be an area where we have to try and improve. Let's hope that we can bring in the players to do just that. Onyeka's going to play a ball to Romero. He doesn't get it, but Byram gets that loose ball. Lucan now does receive the ball and plays a great ball to Juninho Bacuna. And is he in an onside position? I think he is. And that is a managerial masterstroke by myself to play him at Mazzala. I just thought maybe we'll try something different, try a different man in Mazzala, because he's able to just physically get past players, and you can see the brilliant run he makes there. And it's a nice little dink past the goalkeeper. I can't believe I'm saying this. We lead by a goal to nil. Half an hour played. Rico Henry is going to start an attack for Brentford, finding De Silva to Yanelt. Luca Romero with an interception, but De Silva just gets the ball straight back. Oh, careful in defence. Anel clears the danger. Aaron Hickey's picked up a booking, so maybe we look to try and target that part of the pitch. Ruddy retrieves to Anel. Anel to Onyeka, to Luca Romero. Had an impact in this game and is trying to play a through ball through to Sheldon, but he can't. And wow, what a ball from David Raya. Straight through to Ivan Toney. But the referee's going to have a think about this here. They are speaking about potential offside, and he's disallowed it. That's quite a strange decision. It's the right decision though. Wow. Ivan just offside. And unbelievably, Birmingham City still lead, but it might not be for much longer. Oh, header skimming the top of the crossbar. We've been lucky. We've got to be careful though, because Brentford are looking for goals, and they'll get them as well if they continue to apply the pressure that they have been applying. Onyeka beats his man, of course. Onyeka, on the thumbnail of a video a few episodes ago, he was one of Brentford last year. And unfortunately, Shelderup just unable to put the ball at the back of the net. That would have been a nice, comfortable 2-0 lead. We very rarely get them in the Premier League. And we lead by a goal to nil so far. I'm trying to think about what we can say to them here. Let's just say, I think we're doing well, but we can definitely find another gear, take charge of this match. We'll just tell them we can make a difference, and hopefully they can go into the second half and do just that. Longello had an okay game, played a nice ball through to Shelderup. Shelderup running through. Hickey puts it a sliding tackle, but it doesn't matter because Luca Romero grabs us a second. Aaron Hickey missing it's not a header, he missed his tackle. What a play this is by Longello, and great bit of movement from Shelderup. Oh, I suppose he does miss the header, and he misses this tackle as well. Romero, the little small man, beats to a header Mendes and Rico Henry, who also is a very small man. It's 2-0 to us. This is huge. Doesn't take long though before Brentford attempt an attack of their own. Longello back to Harwood Bellis with play out from the back. Bacuna, what a ball over to Shelderup, and what can he do with it? He's supposed to be the man in the middle, but he's on this left hand side. Almada picks it up now. He cuts inside, continuing to cut inside. Got all the space there. Oh, I thought he was going to put that away all by himself. Unfortunately doesn't, but that was a big opportunity. Great bit of play from us as the clock continues to tick down. This has been a really good performance. 70 minutes played now, and we have another highlight. Almada. Anel, oh, header just goes over the bar. 10 minutes to go. Birmingham City, you'd like to think, are in full control of this game. We're going to make another change. Sunyik going to come out in place of Gary Gardner, I think. Let's bring him on. Gary Gardner knows how to win a football match in the Premier League. He's been around the blocks, and I tell you what, we'll bring on James in the box-to-box role as well. And that's all we're going to do for the minute. So 5 minutes to go in this game, and Yanelt is on the sideline, but there is a highlight. Damsgaard plays it through to Tony. Gardner clears it. No nonsense play from our defensive midfielder. And let's hope we can defend this set piece. Now Damsgaard plays a ball in. Sorensen heads over. And you'd like to think that it could be a huge 3 points in the race for survival. Not just yet though. Do we have a third in us with Shelderup taking a free kick? Loves a set piece goal. Raya with a good catch in between the Brentford sticks. And he's going to start An attack of his own. Mendes to Lewis Potter to Pascal Gross. Good interception by Janino Bacuna, who plays a daring ball through to Shelderup. And he's deserved a goal today with some of the opportunities he's had in front of goal, and unfortunately he's not had one there. Raya with a hoof forward. Ahmedzovic, Chong, Gardner. Gardner plays another ball through to Shelderup. Can he have another chance at goal? He can't. Going to look to be the assist maker though. Chong whips it in to Romero with another header, and he finds it just wide of the target. But brilliant play from Birmingham City, and brilliant play in this episode. 2 victories from them 2 games. I told you we love a video here on YouTube. We love a victory here on YouTube as well. So you've got the win today, but it wasn't a smooth ride. What feelings, points, of players that matter certainly helps our chances. I only take every match has been played. I don't want to say that. You've won our game in hand and moved up the table. It's nice. Yeah, every game matters now. 100%. Big win. Big performance. We're on 27 points, and we've just closed the gap here. I know these teams have got games in hand, but we've won our game in hand. We've moved back up into 18th, and we need to keep ourselves within touching distance of the teams in front of us. What a victory. Wow. What a victory. And we haven't got many games to go now. 10 games to go between now and the end of the series. I don't know whether or not to come back for the FA Cup quarter-final. I'll tell you what. We will. We'll come back for the Leicester City game in the quarter-final just to see if we can get this run. Maybe go to Wembley. Have a chance to go to Wembley, because I think Leicester away is a good opportunity to maybe win. Maybe get ourselves through to the semi-final. And I'll tell you what we'll do as well. We won't play the game against Villa on camera because we've already had a few second city derbies. We'll play Watford at home. 20th place in the league. It has to be 3 points in that game as well if we are to stay up in the Premier League. Got a little bit of momentum behind us now. And if you're looking forward to seeing how we can take this momentum forward and try and survive in the Premier League, please hit the like button, comment and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already, and I'll see you for the next episode of this save very soon. Take care guys, bye bye.